Hi there, and welcome to the first video blog I've done in quite some time, just because it's been a real time of change for me and a time to just recalibrate and refocus on what is important. So I've made some changes to the way I work, the way I communicate, and in who I have working in my life. It's been a big change. And of course, the world itself is changing. We're seeing these really dynamic changes, which are bringing lots of, or triggering, I would say, triggering lots of emotions in people. I get these texts from clients or friends who are worried about the ever-changing, ever-evolving global situation, and how does that impact us? And I suppose in reflection, I think what I've been going through is yet another phase of ascension. And when we step into that ascension light, there's no going back. We are embracing the fact that we are looking to evolve our soul. We're looking to escalate our learning, our soul's evolution, our personal development. And so the lessons come in thick and fast, the challenges come in thick and fast, and we have to be really aware that we've asked for this. I think some people think, oh, I'm going to go on my ascension path. I want to be a fifth dimensional energetic being. It's going to be fantastic, but it gets harder because you're having to respond to the chaos around you very differently. And I think for myself, I have come into 2026. As you'll see in my newsletter, if you are subscribed to my newsletter, you'll see what it's all about, where I've suddenly had all of this free space because I've made changes in December. I've had a little bit of time in January just to really accommodate those changes, seeing the old patterns going, but I haven't yet developed new patterns. Hence, this is my first video clip for 2026. I would normally have done one in January. So I've been embracing my free time. I've been thinking about, well, what does this mean for me? What are the changes that I need to take on board? And the first thing was I didn't automatically go and fill the space. I think we have a habit of disallowing ourselves just time to be, time to think, time to reflect, time to sit. We're conscious that we might be seen as lazy. We might even say to ourselves that we are lazy because we're sitting, we're not doing, we're not being busy. And sometimes we can just be busy just for busy's sake, to fill in the empty space. But in reflection in January, just sitting in silence, sitting with my eyes closed, listening to the world going on around me, whether it's the Bollywood music from next door, or the kids playing on the trampoline, or traffic whizzing by, or kids finishing school and the excitement of going home. Just being connected to the outside world and not purely focused on the inside world, the internal world that we have, which has that conflict inside. I should be doing something. I should be doing something. Why are you not doing anything? But it was a really interesting exercise in itself, just to prove that I could actually just sit, and I could give myself permission to just sit. I didn't need to read a book. I didn't need to do anything. I didn't even meditate. I just sat really quietly, just being in my energy, feeling my body. I'm recovering from a couple of accidents, so just feeling into my body and how does my body feel now. So I feel now is the time, as we move into the year of the horse, which is, fast coming upon us. I think the 4th of March is when things are actually set in place. We'll soon have the Festival of Lights in China, which denotes the end of their spring holiday and the start of the new energetic year. And so I thought I would just remind you of what is ascension, what is third dimension, and what is fifth dimension, and where do I sit in all of that, and how can I move from a third dimension to a fifth dimension. Fifth dimensional shifts, there was a huge discussion and hoopla, if you will, in 2012. That was going to be the cosmic awakening. It was going to be seen as the arrival of the Messiah, seen as the new conscious wave, seen as something different. And of course, as we tick into the 1st of January 2012, I think we all sat there going, well, there hasn't really been a change. I don't feel different. It's just a new day, a new dawn, a new day. However, if we were to reflect back in 2012 and where the world has come since then, the evolution of the planet in terms of green space, green fuels, different ways of thinking, that's all on the positive side, which we can see the less positive side or the negative side, the warring factions, they're all coming up to the surface because one can't reside without the other. And the light and the dark needs to be it needs to be there. It needs to be the balancing factor, the yin and the yang, the feminine and the masculine. And I think we've seen people coming to the forefront who are opening our eyes to what is that third dimensional vibration. And we can see that in reflection if we're in a fifth dimensional space. So we had this cosmic convergence in 2012. We're moving on to this new level. We were leaving the third dimension behind. And I think it's been more subtle than people really thought it was going to be. It wasn't just this suddenly waking up and wow, we were in this new place. So how do we know? How do we know if we are now a fifth dimensional being? This is the question. And ascension work is my favorite work. I do love my angels, but I do really like the ascended masters. I do really like ascension work because that personal growth is just such a divine experience when we can reflect on ourselves and think, wow, is that how I used to think in the past? So I'm just going to read a little bit from my list below. Fifth dimension, first and foremost, is having control over your own emotional body. So you're in that really grounded place. So when chaos hits you, when an unexpected event comes into your arena, you have the emotional intelligence and the spiritual guidance just to take a breath, absorb the information, and then decide how you're going to react to it. So you become less reactionary and you become more thoughtful in your responses. Seeing the bigger picture in all of the challenging or difficult situations. So when we are confronted by something really challenging, we don't go into reactionary mode. We do have the emotional intelligence to just take a breath. And then we sort of have to sit and say, so, well, what is that all about? Why is this happening right now? What's the drawback and what's the benefit? What's the pros and the cons of this particular challenge right now? And who am I going to become because of this challenge? And that's the key thing. Whether it's something terribly personal that goes drastically wrong, the ending of friendships, relationships, etc. I think it's really lovely to think about well, who have I become because of this? Because you will become a different person because of that change. And if you can see that overarching reason as to why this challenge has come in, then you actually deal with it on a different level of conscious awareness. And so your approach to dealing with it will be different. Standing in your personal power, not being afraid to say no. And I think once you get the hang of saying no, it becomes your favorite word. Whether it is someone cajoling you, just have another drink. Just have another drink. And having that process of not being polite and going, well, actually, I'm fine, thank you, but great for the offer. Eat more food. You need to be doing this. You should be doing. And you say, well, that's your opinion. Possibly I should be doing that, but right now I'm not going to. So thinking about strategies of how to defend yourself against the people around you who are pushing you to participate in events or areas that are just not suitable for you. Having those responses are really good. And I always thank people and then say no. So for me, when people will offer me something, oh, thanks for the offer, but no, not for me right now. And it's not offensive. They tend to go, that's okay. I just thought I would offer. I go, yep, I get that. I love to be included, but please don't worry about me. I'm fine. So having those wonderful phrases that is not seen as rejection by that other person, but you're simply just standing in your own power. Sharing your compassionate self selflessly, having compassion, having empathy. Compassion is slightly different. Compassion is where you are sending loving thoughts to someone. Empathy is when you're actually deep diving in and you're feeling their thoughts. So we have to be really careful. We can be compassionate. I would say right now to everyone who is feeling hopeless in the events that are transpiring in the Middle East. So I'm dating this particular recording as March 2026. You might feel completely caught off guard, in shock, full of fear, helpless. We've been through that through the Gaza Strip. We've seen that with Ukraine. We've all felt helpless. But what you can do on a compassionate level is to send light to those areas. Don't go down the tunnel of darkness into hate and frustration and anger and resentment towards the perpetrators, because they're going to keep doing what they're doing. But what we can do is pull ourselves back up that tunnel and go down the tunnel of light. And we send compassion to everyone that is trapped in a hotel right now. All those beautiful young souls, those girls at the girls' school who were killed, people who have lost their living, their world is changed forever. They're in an unknown place. They're feeling a sense of fear and uncertainty. Send your compassion. Send light to those people. Empathically, we don't need to feel into their pain because we have our own pain. So compassionately, we can send compassion and we can flood those areas with light, with everyone having the best outcome for them. We can't dictate the outcome, but we can certainly say to our angels and our guides and the universe and the universal light, I want everyone to have a good outcome that is in their soul best interest. So sharing your compassion, remaining grounded and self-aware at all times. I think this is maybe the hardest thing because we do get distracted. We do get distracted by social media 24/7. We can get distracted by other people's needs. We can just get distracted by different challenges that appear. So staying grounded, coming back to self, when you've been out for a coffee with someone, come back to self and just take a breath and go, right, I'm back home now. Whew, I'm in my own skin and I can send back any and all energies back to those that I've been with and bring back my energy. So being really grounded. And manifesting your life changes really quickly. And I think that's part of Ascension that I particularly love. I have to say, I do manifest really quickly. And to me, it's a given. So if I put a request out for what I need, I don't always ask for what I want, but I do ask for what I need. I need this to happen, that to happen, and that to happen. And then it usually will happen. And so 5-dimensional beings of light, we don't get dragged into that 3rd-dimensional drama of, oh my gosh, I'm not worthy, or I can't ask for this, it's never going to happen, nothing good happens for me. We pick at it like a dog with a bone in 3rd-dimensional thinking. 5th-dimensional thinking, it is, it's a given. It's just a given. Well, this is what I need to happen, so it's just going to happen. And I've really been playing with the universe through January and February. And Michael has been included in part of that. And he's now getting into that process of what I call my pink slip, where I'll put down, well, this is what I need. And then when it occurs, then I just pink slip it. I take a pink highlighter through, and that's it. And it's manifested. So you have this real connection with spirit and source, whatever source energy is for you. And it's a given. It's just a given. They're there, they're listening, and they're acting upon your request that are in your best interest. It truly is as easy as that. So that's some of the things to think about in terms of Ascension, 5th-day living in comparison to 3rd-day living. If you feel that you're getting bogged down in the chaos and in the drama, you need to establish new routines. You need to think about what is best for you. You need to think about how you can shift gears slightly and move your vibration up, whether it is listening to meditative music, not meditating, but just listening to high vibrational music. So that's my thing in the morning. I'm listening to really, really high vibrational music. Above theta, it's more in that higher alpha ranges. And that really lifts my soul. It's about being really mindful in my responses. It's about not being judgmental towards other people, because that's their journey. It's not your journey. Not being judgmental to myself. And that's something I've constantly been working on, having been someone who has been judged all of her life. And now at my grand old age, in my 60s, I'm now really having to not judge myself. So learning those things. We can support ourselves through our crystals. So this is my aquamarine, which is a wonderful 5th-dimensional crystal. And I picked up this scarf out of my scarf drawer today, and it has little golden dolphins on it. You might not be able to see them. They're very pale. Gold dolphins. I bought this 20 something, maybe even 30 years ago, possibly 30 years ago, when I was on my Ascension course with the Diana Cooper School. There you can see the dolphins there. And I just loved them. I just loved these dolphins, and I hadn't realized I'd put this scarf on today. Dolphins are 5th-dimensional. Dolphins are highly spiritual beings, extremely intelligent, as we know, and they speak a language that is beyond our comprehension. So even wearing something that's symbolic, like a dolphin pattern scarf, or changing your desktop to something, whether it's just aquamarine crystals, whether it's dolphins or sea or the galactic space up there, just make small changes to start lifting your vibration away from the chaos. So I feel that's where both January and February have been for me in reflection. March is all about implementing the changes that I am seeing or will be seeing as I move forward. And as I say, I think at this point in time where there is a lot of darkness around in terms of what's going on globally, you can't get trapped in that. The only thing you can do is send your light, create light in this world, send light out to the world, to those affected places with compassion, with love and light, to support everyone who's in that vibration right now, which has obviously been quite unexpected. As for my work this year, I'm back teaching my classes, which I'm really excited about. So I'm teaching them physically. I have a small space here. So the classes are very small, 4 students at a time. And I have the great honour of teaching a Reiki 2 class this weekend, 4 students coming in, moving on to their next level of Reiki healing, and personal growth, which is just so exciting. It's such a privilege and an honour. Crystal courses are back, teaching those live. Come in and book in and just see what it's like to tap into the vibration of your crystals in a completely unique and different way, using them around your home, using them in your healings, using them for distant healing, etc. So we have Crystal 1, which is the basic level, and advanced crystal courses throughout the year. We have mindful manifesting coming up as well. So if you want to learn how to ask and it's given, possibly, that's a really good long weekend course where we just go through what it is, how to train yourself and how to heal the past. So we heal the past of old habits and we create new habits as we move into our future way of manifesting. Everything is on the Phyllis Brown website. You can look at Classes with Phyllis. And if you would like to book a personal session to help you debunk some of your old personal habits that just are not serving, then by all means book in. You can do that either as an online client or an in-person client. So reflection for January and February is being in that space, seeing the joy of allowing yourself that space, but stepping into your own personal strength and light at the same time. So until the next time, I hope you will enjoy this video. Please send me any feedback. I'm always really open to seeing feedback. Join the Facebook page and the YouTube page, because this year I will make more of an effort to putting more video blogs out there. Until the next time, bye for now.